introduction of our keynote speaker. We have a few more people that came in as one of the grants that we get to put on this symposium. The keynote speaker is free to the public, and I'm really happy to see we have some people from the public, some other students on campus. With that, our keynote speaker is Ray Ciancaglini here. Ray has an hour and 15-minute presentation. We are asked if you have questions, please jot them down to yourself, and we'll have a question period at the end with that. And without further ado, Ray.
Very humbled and honored to be your guest speaker here today. It's so heartfelt for me to see so many students aspiring to be the best you can be. Sincere thank you for allowing me this privilege to clinical instructor and athletic trainer Patrick Donnelly, Dr. Bert Mendelbaum, athletic trainer program director T.K. Koesterer, kinesiology department chair Phil Buckmeyer, dean of student studies John Catone, and all the members of the sports medicine symposium committee at the State University of New York at Cortland. Thank you so much. I'd like to open it up to some questions and answers, or you might have to help me with the question.
Anybody have any questions? Yeah.
I have a question. What motivated or inspired you to work for concussion awareness, prevention management, like during your depression? So what kind of switched on from like a negative outlook to a positive outlook? What made you switch?
It was that resiliency and determination that got me into trouble. And it's that resiliency and determination that's going to see this through. And when I say that I realized that I couldn't run from it, and I wasn't I'm going to come back and fight this. And I'm going to make sure that no one else will go down that same path because they didn't know about it. And that's what drove me, and I'm going to do this till they yank me off the stage. So I'm here. Thank you.
Emily.
Do you go and speak to other boxers and MMA fighters in this field, or is it mostly college and high school athletes?
No, I mostly, okay. Boxing is, my message is I endorse every sport, okay? And I don't care what it is, even if you're playing golf, you can get a concussion. So I endorse every sport. My message is, if you get your bell, have it addressed properly, let it properly heal, you'll come back again. Now, but boxing is a different sport. The object of that sport is to render your opponent unconscious. And the more hits to the head, well, the more points. It's not like in football where the object is not to hit in the head. If you do, you get penalized. And they also have an ability to stand up in those sports and do what's right for themselves. You know, it's only one play. If they get their bell rung on that play, they have the ability to get up and realize that they should address this properly. They have the option now to take care of that. Boxers don't have that. Now, we get our bell rung, we got to keep going because that's the nature of the sport. But I do address them to look after these symptoms, but mostly I address and I tier the level of my presentation. Like today I'm pretty tough because it's a professional level. But when I talk to the little kids, I get down on one knee, I keep it to 10 minutes. Okay, and then when I get to high school, it's 25 minutes on a different level. College is another level. When I get to the pros, which I do, we hammer it out. So I hope I'm not getting away here. I tend to get off. Have I answered your question? Okay, you're very welcome. Anybody else?
President Durgo, I'm curious. I know that research is ongoing. Do you think at some point after a certain number of concussions, the professions, whether it's football or boxing, should tell an athlete you cannot no longer perform in this sport, or do you think that's incorrect?
Okay, well, this is my take on it. I've had 40 years to deal with it. The number of concussions, when I address like high school and Vince Lombardi, maybe some college, I don't worry about the count at that time. What I'm worried about is the having a concussion and one on top of it, or having one close together. Because at that level, I don't know if you're in it long enough to have that accumulation. Okay, but okay, yes, that is strictly a physician question, and I'll tell you, you couldn't, both your physician and your athletic trainer, those are the professionals, these are the professionals that you have to entrust. And God only, if I only had one back in my day to guide me and give me that advice and the right advice, I don't know, I might have been world champion, or I might have been that gym teacher. But that's so important to go to a specialist and keep track of keep track of those, because they do accumulate. But when they talk about accumulation, if you don't get them in a close period of time, and if you let them heal, you're probably going to be pretty good. You're probably going to be pretty good. But that decision's up to the doctors, and they're pretty much on top of that with research now. Pretty much. Did I address it? Okay, thank you.
Great. Now we know now. Come back to your 16-year-old self. Did you do it all over again?
Okay, that's a good one. You know, boxers we're taught to hide. We're taught to hide our hurt right from the get-go. And the reason they teach you that is when you get nailed in the ring, if your opponent sees he's got you hurt, he's going to pounce on you. So you have to have that split second to recuperate. So you become a real master at, I guess the word's deceiving. You become a real master at hiding things, and the old thing about toughness. Boy, you know, right out of the gym, you have to be tough according to that protocol. And would I do it over? If I had the research that we have today, and if I had a Carmen Basilio out there telling everybody, guys, take care of this because you'll come back another day. Boy, I might have listened to my mentor there, but not having it, boy, I was looking for words to let me go. Okay, I don't know the correct way to explain it, but sometimes you look for the words you want to hear. And that's exactly what I was doing. And I didn't have any guidance to teach me otherwise. And family had a lot to do with it too. You know, every successful, well not every, but most really successful boxers have a father or an uncle behind them. And I didn't have that. So I was open to the wolves. And a father in that business, he's getting you the right fights, he's making sure you rest. That was another thing. I didn't take any rest and let these injuries heal. I had so many wars, even some of the promoters were telling me, Ray, it's too many wars here. You know, you got to take a little break. But I was so determined and didn't have the education. But yeah, if I would have had that, and that's where the education comes in now, and that's where I knew I went wrong. So we're going to nail it here. And athletic training students, you take that burden. You have to be firm, and you know they're going to try and deceive you, not out of being deceitful, just that urge that some athletes have. I had it, and you just have to be ready for it, be firm, because you're doing the right thing for them.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever have a trainer in your corner that wanted to do more so to kind of call the play, or were they always pushing you to go and
Okay. This was the deceiving part. And I don't want to appear as being boastful here. Okay. But to explain this, I was a knockout puncher. I was very aggressive. And this was very popular. I was very popular for that. And they came to expect this of me. But I was hiding that headache. And again, upon exertion, it would really get so bad that I had to let back. And a lot of times my corner would get upset with me. I'd come back to the corner and they say, look, he's all yours, come on out of there, take him out of there. I'd go back out, but I'd let him off the hook. I was doing just enough to win, but, not enough to get him out of there because I couldn't exert myself anymore. And they get so disgusted with me. And that's another reason why I left New York, was because I gave it the racehorse theory. They all knew what I had in me, and when I wasn't producing up to what they thought I could, I said, okay, I will also go somewhere else. It's like when you go to the track and you see a horse run, you know what that horse can do. Okay, and then you expect it. But if you have never seen that horse run, you don't know what to expect. So when I went out of state, I was doing my thing, and they thought, oh, that's great. But I could then hide and still get away with what I was doing, hoping that these things would clear up. So I answered it pretty much. Did I come across with that? Yeah, I get going, and then nature of the beast here. I forget what I did. Anybody else want to?
Other questions?
Hammer me here. I'm here now.
I have one for you. What do you do to keep you safe still?
Oh, dear. Well, gosh. I went through such a high intensity of training at that level. But the Parkinson, the tremors don't allow me to exercise. It agitates. Plus, it's dangerous for me with the mental lapses, even if I have a partner. So what I do is I basically watch what I eat. But if you take care of yourself, and I never drank in my life, I never smoked, I was a real clean liver, and I still am today. And so I just watch what I eat and live a clean life, and I think it helps me to kind of stay fit here. Thank you.
Anybody else? Other questions? Okay, Ray, we have a little fancy note that we have to present to you from Cody.
Well, thank you so much. While we're doing this, I have a signed autograph glove that I would like to present to. I always struggle with it. To SUNY Cortland for being proactive with concussion awareness and the honor of being here today. And I would like to present this glove as a token of my appreciation. If you ever have any question, and I love answering these, I get them from all over the country. If you ever have a question, call me. My phone's open, email me, and I would love to hear from you or answer any questions that you have. And stay focused and keep punching. Thank you.
Some of you may want to talk to your high school athletic directors, things do. There is some literature over here that's available that you can pick up on, Ray. I would like all the athletic training students that are here to come up. We want to get a picture together with Ray. Others of you that came to join us this afternoon, I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming and enjoying the afternoon.